เที่ยงใช่ไหม
ใช่ครับผมไม่แน่ใจว่าต้นนี่ตรงกันข้ามกัน12 ชั่วโมงป่ะอาจจะใกล้เคียงไม่ใช่ก็ใกล้เคียงเนอะราวๆ12 ชั่วโมงอะไรแบบเฮเรติกทีมลิควิดครับแปซิฟิกมี RQ เจนจีเปเปอร์เอ็กซ์อันนี้เรียงอันดับให้แล้ว
ครับ
ไชน่าครับผมนี่ฮะมี XLG ครับ Bilibili Gaming และ Wolves ครับผมส่วนอเมริกาก็เป็น G2 Sentinel MI
Every other map, I want to see the Oreo.
It's funny you say that because he does bring that like finally some level of a consistency in terms of role, and still throughout all that, Forsaken is still playing like 8 different agents every split. It is mind-boggling. He still finds a way to flex to everything.
I'm so happy you mentioned him because it's been a while since we've seen Forsaken as well. He's back somehow, like you said, with an even bigger agent pool, even more flexibility. And speaking of Forsaken, he managed to check in with Jen Lee a little bit earlier.
Hello everyone, Jen Lee here with Forsaken. Now Forsaken, welcome to Masters. Team Heretics though, they're very, very excited to face you guys. They want their revenge, and we're expecting a lot of firepower from both teams as well. So what is the formula against Team Heretics today?
I mean, I'm really excited to meet them as well. I think it's gonna be a banger match, and since like they made a grand final a couple of times, we knew that they're really tough opponents. But the last time we met them, we win, so I believe that we can win again this time. And the formula, I think we just have to be confident, and I also believe whoever win this match, I think will go far in this event. So,
okay. Yeah. So it's an important match.
Yeah, it's an important match, really, really important.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
I mean, long-term Forsaken enjoyers and viewers might be surprised by that answer because he's traditionally pretty used to downplaying his team at global events. There was one time where he was like, I would rate us 5 out of 10. It was like 3 out of 10 at one point as well. So is this a good thing, Mel, that he seems way more confident coming into this compared to previous times?
I honestly, and you know, clock me if I'm being parasocial here, but I mean, I don't know why I said that, but I feel like a part of this is because I feel like he's really growing into a true leadership role on the team. Like, I know we've talked about before, PRX, who's IGLing here, right? Like, what's going on? And we've always been like, it's this guy, this guy, this guy. But I heard from Minnie's stream that he's also been trying to kind of morph and mold him into an IGL, like, dedicated for the team. And I think that really shows, even in, like, interviews like that, just how he holds himself, the poise he has, how he lifts up his team instead of underrating. When you're an IGL, you really kind of need that delusional confidence. And I'm not going to go as far to say that he is straight up IGLing for the team, but we can see like kind of moments like that kind of give us a little bit of insight of what's going on in the team.
I also just, I personally like to see the confidence after not getting to see him in the team earlier on in the year, right? Like, especially because Bangkok was a tournament where it felt like everyone was starting to play like a lot more of the double duelist ideas. Like T1 was like, but PRX
is so silly,
to be able to do it.
Look at this graphic. Yeah. This is just silly.
But that's the thing. Like, you can run double duels with Forsaken or without him. Like, he can play everything.
It's just the silliest thing. But I mean, we talked about how Heretics have a trophy that eluded them, but they've only really been good, you know, at the global stage for a year and a half. But PRX have been here since 2021, and there's still no trophy on the global stage.
Yeah, have gotten close a few times. Never fully pulled it together, and now not even coming in as like the favorite of the event, right? So for them to go on a run, it would be a continuation of what they built in stage 1 regionally, right? Where they were the team that was discounted early on, then they start building up, the train starts moving, but there's so much more left to do to go that full distance to finally get that trophy.
Is it time? You know, is this their tournament, Mel? Is there something in the air for PRX?
I feel like you're influencing me. I can honestly starting to feel the hype build. Like, at first I had like basic economy tickets on the train, but like maybe if you can get me into first class,
upgrade.
you're getting me this upgrade. Like, I'm starting to believe myself.
I'll check for the upgrades for sure. I didn't ask you.
Oh,
so
wow.
I know what you're gonna say. That's why.
I was saying I was gonna hang out by the tracks, and you know, a few games down the road, if it looks good, I'm jumping in.
Denied, access denied. But we are moments away from walkouts, and our first 2 teams are ready to take the stage. So to every everyone here currently in the arena, head down to the fan zone for a very big welcome. But here on the desk for us, it's time for the results. Did you just wave?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, do your wave. I want to wave as well. I feel left out. Oh, yeah. Shout out to the fans. They're waving back at us. But this is the result for our MasterCard fan poll. Earlier, we asked you which region was going to take home the Masters Toronto trophy, and the results are in. I cannot believe only 3.2% for CN. Do people believe just EDG that much, and they think that EDG are not here, then their hopes are gone?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all on EDG. Yeah.
That's surprising.
But also, I don't know. Like, I was able to talk to Rarke yesterday, and he told me that he was the worst duelist in the tournament. So I'm like, he's not even believing in himself. What's going on?
Oh my goodness. Okay, don't tell me.
Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak.
I'm writing this down now. I'm writing this down.
I learned that from Sentinel's John QT.
Oh, that was wait. There is one quote I know from John QT. I don't think I'm allowed to say it.
Okay.
But you know the one. You know the one.
I know the one.
You know the one.
Yes.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know. But
I don't think that one's in the Art of War.
Yeah, I don't think that one is as good as the one that Mel just said. But looking at the talent predictions here, I cannot believe only Uber and Vance went for Team Liquid.
They don't have
This is
Nats.
insane.
Wait. They don't have Nats.
Yinzu.
This is outrageous.
I have a bone to pick with you.
Yeah, hit me.
You have Team Heretics winning.
I do have Team Heretics winning.
And you're trying to convince me to put PRX.
Well,
And look at me, I got PRX here.
This is the thing. PRX are winning the tournament, but they're gonna have to, find themselves early on. They can't do a flawless journey.
This is like some Simone Biles mental gymnastics. I do not know what you are saying.
They're gonna lose that opening game. They're gonna learn so much from it, come back stronger, and deliver us a crazy lower bracket run. Is that not what we want though? We want the drama. We want some stories. We don't just want a flawless run. That's boring.
I don't know. I would take a flawless. You would take a flawless.
Would I?
No?
Wait, but
I always screw 3 maps.
I still think the elephant in the room on that graphic is the fact that only 2 people chose Liquid. I know Nat is not here, but we don't believe in Penny? You don't believe in Penny?
I would have not go that far. I did not say that.
What's up?
No, we believe in Penny.
Why did you say Billy Billy?
Penny is undefeated in Tier 1 Valorant this year.
Yeah, so then why did you say Billy Billy if you believe in Penny so much?
Because he's not Nats. He's an emergency sub.
Okay, we'll see.
Nats is just the GOAT.
I mean, we unfortunately do not have the script, We just guess. But this is where the road to redemption begins. We have 2 matches laced with a lot of emotions and unfinished business. Today, we bring you Team Heretics versus PRX. Billy taking on Team Liquid. It's time to kick off day 1 of Masters Toronto.
In an instant, the moment collapses. Every choice, now a memory. Every decision, now questioned. But opportunity rises again. The moment is in your hands. Squeeze the trigger.
Ready, set, go. Ready, set, go.
To lock in a game-winning play, you have to lose track of everything. You just focus on yourself. Being comfortable in chaotic situations, that's flow state.
You're completely focused that whole time, then
it's a battle of whose mental is stronger.
when the lights go off, the game moves in slow motion.
You see the bigger picture always. You're not overthinking.
There's just
You're just doing.
Positioning. Does Celsius consider this? He does!
You can't think about anything else but executing your play. I think about that a lot. It always replays in my head.
To do it all! No one in hell!
Sometimes it's less so about focusing on yourself, more on your teammates.
Reflection.
I'll do whatever it takes
Redemption.
to be the greatest leader of all time.
Even when you fall apart, you still have your teammate.
It's not easy for me to be thrown off balance. I want to get my revenge.
This time we're not gonna fall short.
他要先把昨天忘记。
他们从竞争赛一路登顶，点在顶峰。
I think it's just about the feeling. It's like one mind together as a team.
Reflection. Redemption.
Toronto, let me hear you! 12 teams from across the globe have been battling relentlessly through Split 1 to get to this moment right here on this stage in Toronto, where their biggest challenge is about to start. Which team will rise up to the occasion to become the next Masters? Well, we're about to find out. Toronto, let's get this started! Le deuxième Masters commence maintenant! Versus PRX.
This is a rematch for the ages to kick us off at Masters Toronto. But a lot has changed since the last time they met.
It absolutely has, but the hype has stayed the same too. I'm getting chills when they're walking out onto stage. We got the Sunnies all ready to go. Both teams fully locked in and ready to go for this first map.
Shout out to Vansili as well. Shout out to our man Vansili. But speaking of the things that have changed, Sunset is in play. But what we see, Mel, is that a risk, you think, to pick Sunset?
To pick Sunset, you must have been a phenomenal team on Sunset to pick it off the gate.
Yeah,
the
well,
first tournament.
Heretics have decided to go to Lotus instead of Sunset. I think that's a mistake.
Interesting.
It's hard to know, right, without real tape on this Sunset map, whether or not we're going to be rocking a lot. But what I'm interested in is Pearl Icebox because, I mean, you know better than anyone, but like Pearl is historically the worst map in the EMEA pool,
Okay.
and Icebox is historically the best.
Here is a stat. Do you two want to guess how many times the 3 EMEA teams in this tournament played Pearl during stage 1 of EMEA? So Fnatic, Heretics, and Liquid, how many times did they play Pearl combined?
I'm gonna say 3.
I'm gonna say
1. They played it 1 time, and it was Team Heretics.
Oh.
So this is not an EMEA map. If anything, like you said, we are terrible on it. So PRX clearly have done their homework. Mel, we won't have the sunset. Does this favor anyone, you think? Now you know the maps?
Honestly, it really depends. I think it could go, like, both of them are going to take the map picks, and then it's going to go to a third map for sure.
Yeah, honestly, for me, I'm just curious to see what we're playing in terms of agents, right? Because neither team was super aboard the Taeho train.
Yeah.
But on this map of Pearl, PRX had been playing Jet Phoenix maps, which are unique to say the least on this map, but play very differently to a lot of other ideas. Phoenix so good for both A-main control and fighting around that mid space.
I'm really interested to see how Team Heretics really deal with teams running a double duelist comp against them as well, not just on Pearl, but overall, because normally they don't really run into double duelist in the EMEA besides Haven. That is when everyone's running the Yoru, the ISO. However, PRX kind of has an advantage because, I mean, we all have seen the APAC comps. They are crazy. They've seen everything. They've seen it all. They've scrimmed it all. So I'm really interested to see. I think PRX does have an advantage in dealing with double duelist comps against them. So I'm really excited to see how this turns out.
And also, I think in dealing with Miniboo's Neon as well, because there's a lot of Neon that we see over Pacific too.
Right, we might see, like, I mean, maybe Neon slides don't work as well against PRX. The mechanics, the APAC mechanics are just going to come through.
I mean, the one time they did run this Pearl against Na'Vi, they won. We had the Miniboo on Yoru and Woods on Jet, which is something they have leaned into. They like this kind of duo. But I actually wouldn't hate it that much if Miniboo doesn't play Yoru. It wouldn't bother me. Yeah, because he'll probably play Neon, and no one's going to have a go at his Neon.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and I like when we started seeing a lot more Neon getting played on Pearl earlier in the year, I was a big fan of it. Like the execs you can run. Yoru usually plays a lot slower, you know, it's more macro, TV, all that type of stuff, but Neon can just overwhelm sites, and that is what Heretics are so good at.
And I do want to shout out, because I can see on my monitor, I'm sure you guys will see in a second, Mind Freak is here. He did travel with PRX, and he is sitting in the coach booth next to Alex. So maybe that's a bit of a buff as well, a cheeky bit of assistant coach power.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what he feels his role is in the assistant coach. Is it just keeping him calm? Is it keeping Alex calm? Or is it more just like, he's like bad cop, good cop? I wonder what the vibe is there. Every time I've seen Mind Freak in the coach booth, he's always been smiling though.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm biased from the clips I've seen, but he always seems to bring a good vibe. So I'm leaning more towards good cop, bad cop.
I just think it's great that for so many years, we've seen the Freak. And now we get to see the Mind.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Do you know what? I'm really mad when other people are funnier than me. That makes me so mad.
No, you already won the day with the intro with the 18 titles, so I'm trying to catch up.
No, but I think you beat me there. I think you beat me there. But the agents will definitely be very, very interesting, because we all seem to be very, very convinced that we might not even see a single takeoff. You know, we won't see it. But you know, we don't always know. We don't always know. How would you be mad at all if we saw a Taeho on Pearl out the gate?
That would take me so off guard for either of these teams that didn't really commit to Taeho. And is this what I think it is?
Yes, we are having live agent select right now. You're seeing the players pick their agent in real time, and this harbor really, really makes me worried.
Heretics are not locked in. Don't freak out. Maybe going back to more normal things. But I think to talk about PRX for a moment, this does deviate from what they've been playing. I do think they have a recent game playing this comp, though, with the Yoru Raze double dive options, which I do think can be very powerful.
I'm really curious to see how that plays out on defense. Obviously, they're going to be starting attack, so we'll take a while to get to that point. But that is really interesting. I can see the Raze being really annoying in terms of disrupting, like, sensitive setups, getting that name to break it, and then it allows your other duelists to go in and entry afterwards.
Yeah, and it's not just anyone's Raze, it's the Jing. But on the other side of this, good lane breach is not something we see a lot. In fact, only 4 or 5 times in the past. But he has to kind of flex it, because Rian's fade is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, the Rian's fade, you can't give up on that for sure, but I'm curious to see how this breach plays up alongside with the nerfs, right? How it can combo those stuns with stuff like the Yoru.
Well, we have 18 titles here on the desk. I'm sure we're going to be adding a couple more as I throw this over Toronto go to your casters, Uber and Wood.
Thank you very much, Insu. Great to be here in the 6 to kick off this Masters Toronto in the best way possible. It's two teams that take these tournaments at breakneck speed, but Wyatt, they've been cursed to stumble at the last hurdle in the past.
So many second place, third place finishes for these squads respectively. The tournament is going to begin here. They've met before in a group stage. That was a long time ago back at Madrid. And we haven't seen a whole lot of PRX on the global stage since then. It's time for redemption to see if the train is going to keep on rolling.
Here we go, folks. Already we've got this play up through connector here. It'll leave me the Prowler that tries to get him in. Wood on the breach this time around. A fault line comes out at a decent time.
Could be in a bit of trouble if there's a pop flash out of this, but no, it's just going to be a pivot towards the spawn. The minimap is bizarre right now. Triple push from Team Heretics all the way through B, creeping into the spawn of the attackers.
It's going to defeat a lot of this KJ util placed in A main. PRX here able to push out from Link.
There's just no way that they're going to expect this retake to be coming from all of these angles. Benji Fishy biding his time right now. They
have to know they're on a clock though. Look at the lurk coming here from Boo. We'll be turning up from A main in time. The PRX want to push through. Flash in the direction of Flowers, doesn't see anything. Briefly pinged out on the site. That Haunt does give a lot of information now. PRX want to push ahead of this way, but look, caught in the grab well here. Devi's going to sit. And then Wood's going to take first contact with Device, tucked in the corner. It's a 2-for-2. Forsaken buys his time, opts the double back. There's no plant yet.
No, they've got enough time that they want to try to pivot to B, but these 1v1s being taken are awkward. Forsaken. Lovely trade brings it to the 2 versus 2. And in the meantime, Patman had been making his way over towards this B site. It's going to be awkward for Team Heretics on this one. There's so many positions. These last 2 players could be tucked into, but they opt for the double halls play together.
Of course, Patman dubs as the handler for this PRX team. He's a tight leash on them. And deals with Mini Boo as he tries to approach from B long. It's on Boo. Now they know he's here. The Horde reveals his location. And the IGL now needs to make a play for Horde. He knows what the setup is, but he has to face it. Natty! Patman deals with him. It's PRX with the pistol.
That is the steady hands of the man who has just been a consistent element since joining this PRX team. Comes up in the first pistol round for his global debut. Pivotal 2K for Patman, wins that duel towards long. What a bizarre pistol to start off this game. The map being entirely flipped by both sides. But PRX making that nice pivot with those 30 seconds or so remaining, getting over to get that plant on B.
The double back on A when Benji got taken low. But PRX have a clear call to hit that B side now. Let's see what they got for this anti-eco. It's a group up towards that B side. Note that the shear wall's been placed behind them.
This is looking just absolutely free for PRX here. Team Heretics opt to go for this gamble stack towards the A site. They're not going to find a thing, and at that they've got all classics. But of course, when you're running this Euro, you are going to always be prioritizing just farming up those orbs. The dimensional drift has just been one of the highest power ultimates in the meta this year.
Razorvine deployed in horses. It's tough for Benji, and Jing explodes.
Now for the
rest of Team Heretics.
Spike planted.
They're going to have to likely perish to the spike. Sorry, Sliggy, no Molly's here, mate.
Feels like Razer on this map is unorthodox, doesn't do justice to the agent being played here. It is so uncommon. And that kind of play, that double satchel back into holes, we're going to be seeing a lot of that from Jing, taking opening engagements, being set up to try and get in really deep with these satchels on attack. Divide with this Ghost, hoping to just pick off a couple players right now.
On a second guess, hold line, they're trying to catch him out. Some old orbs on the table here though for PRX. If Heretics get a little bit too close, Rians will have his. And the rest of PRX have already gotten out of dodge. And that'll be that. 4 perish to the spike for Heretics. But now we're well and truly on the road. And this is a comp from PRX that we've seen them pick up very recently to good success. We're kind of figuring out on the fly exactly how they're going to make best use of this Raze mobility.
I mean, after watching months of Teo on this map, both teams have come out with very unique approaches. If these guys tried to do any prep for each other, that is out the window entirely. This is going to be who can call best on the fly, who can adapt the most, or are these just going to be two teams running it down on each other?
We might get that here.
Haymakers.
Look at the util set up for this A main fight. Miniboo fancies a little bit of it, but PRX is slower on the uptake. It's a smoke out on them, but they're going to try and follow this Raze util in. Miniboo has a swing. Something gets ahead of it. Rien's though able to follow up on the grab well, and now will take up this position of boxes. And that's stunning stuff for Rien's. Just what the doctor ordered. Forsaken is out of the game, essentially. How do we break back in? We're on the breach.
In a situation like that, you're going to see this utility from the Team Heretic side be so powerful. Honestly, remarkable that something isn't even able to get that first blood. You're trapped in the grab well. There's a stun being thrown onto him as well. PRX opt to go for a pretty loose call here, just triple swinging through the smoke with multiple players there. They're lined up. Just doesn't work out.
Let's go. Nice one. Not the bonus I think the PRX were looking for. Heretics really taking control of that A main position, and PRX might be tempted to test them again.
Placing swamp grenade.
Here we go. This is PRX economy on the line in their first buy round. A lot of emphasis towards mid. It looks like they just want to go for a very quick A split, or at least threaten that to open things up. Here comes that double satchel. Hit the push. He can't be getting that.
Oh, there's more where that came from, Wyatt. Divine's having to deal with Benji. And now, you're trapped if you're Rien's in A main. He's only good for the one. Miniboo needs to try and find a way into the game, but he's at risk of being crunched on here as Forsaken gets the spike down. Clock is ticking for Miniboo, and eventually he'll be stuck out of position. It's on Boo. Stuck here for Flowers, and there's not a whole lot to be done.
And that's exactly what you're going to expect from this PRX team. Just mental double satchels in from Jing that you're never going to be prepared for. You're never scrimming against this. They are a one-of-one team, and Jing is a one-of-one Raze. And it's going to come down to these adaptations on the fly. Boo caught by something. PRX in danger of being on an eco if they lost that round, but taking it in convincing fashion.
There's no way you're ready for this.
Yeah, no, I mean, having to make that adjustment. Look at him, he dodges the fall line as well. That movement is so smooth.
And again, we're seeing Heretics try and slow the game down with these nebulae, right? Smoke up and force PRX to flash through them. That's another situation where that attempt to stall for Heretics is artfully defeated.
The first round, this is the first round we're going to have an ultimate on Rien's. It's already put up 6 kills. He's gotten to that nightfall relatively early, so perhaps that could be the critical element of Team Heretics winning this buy round that don't just have Boo on a bucket.
It's really a token effort to keep Benji interested here over towards Connect, because they pulled out after that Prowler was deployed over towards his B side.
There was a Prowler replay just then from Rien's towards Arc. Now opting to double up control A main. PRX though, they have just slowly pivoted over towards this B side. Here comes a full execute. So much utility for backhauls, but at the moment that Molly is going to keep Jing at bay. They know who has this Bucky. They can just try to avoid him.
He clears the Razor Vine though, so there's an option for Boo to spring forth should he need to, but he's sat here with the bucket. Patience for Boo. He's going to get shot up through the wall though. Benji can't hold mid, only finds his one. And now from tower, Heretics have to make the play. God, that happened in light speed. PRX rack up another one. And this is two teams that are going to fight round after round to impose their will on each other. There's no backing down from here.
This PRX team that has gone on the run to get here have maintained that lightning fast, exciting play, but it's just so much more regimented than when their stage 1 started, when they were going 0-3, when they looked down and out. That execute is fantastic, and I love that they are able to slow down the game and get into that little tight double peak jiggle to deal with the backside. And even in that moment, something takes the fight, but he backs off. They just play safe, disciplined when they need to now. That's fully on display in a round like that, and it puts Team Heretics on an eco.
Heavy PRX pings towards back hole here. Looks like they're not going to waste too much time. Getting up on this B side. Once again, C's thrown in. Jing disrespects the Razor Vine, but he's absolutely not ready for that. He's wrapped around with the judge of this moment where that came from, apparently. Jing is unchained, cannot be stopped at this stage. Heretics don't quite have the arsenal to slow them down meaningfully. Grabwell is going to be avoided by Rienzi, extricates himself, but now the boys are back. Flooding into the link.
Ruthless. Ruthless, just taking the fight to the players with the Sheriffs. When you have Jing on your team, one of the greatest Raze players in the history of this game, just let him run wild. Build your plays around him. No one's running the Raze here, but they make it work. He's destructive when he's getting his pace into back halls.
How is Boo supposed to establish a foothold in halls against this Fade util, against the Vice, util that gets thrown down there?
It's too overwhelming. They can't anchor this site right now. They're going to have to pivot to trying to play towards a retake, especially out of this timeout. Ryzen is still holding on to that Nightfall. They're getting close to other great ultimates. So that should allow them to just safely pivot off the site, absorb that initial utility that PRX is going, which is a tsunami wave, and then come back in with those ultimates after the fact.
So much of what we've seen from PRX in this game has really broken the average conditioning on a map like this. You're not playing against the average Valorant team if you're Heretics, and now you really know it. 4 ultimates have been developed on the PRX side though, including that Showstopper and that Steel Garden. And so far it's been about a tease towards ARP or Connector early in the round, and then wholesale PRX have pulled out towards that B side of the map. The one round where things went a little wrong for them was when they fight doggedly for that A main position, and Heretics have great util, right? A lot of that Astra util to slow up, to smoke up, and force PRX to take a risky flash out and get gunned down.
Oh, listen, when this PRX team run into the Team Heretics stack, they have fantastic utility to slow them down, win those engagements. PRX has just been hitting a free sight multiple rounds here. Now, this round 7 is going to be pivotal to the outcome of this first half. 4 ultimates available for PRX. Team Heretics to 1, but close to a couple more with their
front line off the rip. Expecting almost a push into Plaza by Heretics. It doesn't come. And now they're going to start to clear into Connector. Wood has given up this space. Play a more passive line. Doesn't see them cross. Showstopper pop. Jing is headed off the guts. Oh, he's headed over towards Art. Surely he doesn't wrap on this player. Benji's about to get real busy, folks, and he starts the rockets. However, Patman handles him. Once again, playing through these smokes, though. Boom slows the pace down, and the shots have been good enough to make it something in Forsaken verse 3.
Who's next? Just slowly flanking. Nebula drops, but the ultimate is ripped by something. Going to get all the information on this side, clearing out Secret, just letting Forsaken know that he's safe to pivot towards this back area. They want to flip the map right now. Stuns coming through. Something feels like he's in so much danger. Gate crashes out to main, and that's just going to separate these two PRX players. It's going to come down to individuals. One the cosmic divide even being used here.
This is going to at least give a safe pocket for something to get that plant. He gate crashed away from the fault line.
Oh, the timing for Forsaken! Miniboot just has to watch too many angles. He's so scared. He knows that's, Forsaken could be going for him.
You got 2 util for this retake, but the cosmic divide is a bit of an issue. Forsaken's going to anchor. Information though is kind of out of date about where Heretics could be coming from. Now a bit more of an inkling. Is he going to push this? Something happens in there from A-Main, and Forsaken does his job. That is a 5-round lead already amassed by PRX.
That was the perfect swing timing from something in main. When the game gets chaotic, that is when PRX thrive. Frankly, you could say the same for Team Heretics, but that's even more of PRX's element than theirs. Rian's used that Nightfall, but to no avail. And you're just seeing Miniboot placed in this uncomfortable situation. Has to watch a couple of different angles. They're feeling good.
Both brothers on the Heretic side have definitely looked overwhelmed in their position so far. And here's a double satchel play for Jing. Well, you've got A-main control, especially up against this half-bite.
It's a cool way to take a main, that pop flash, double satchel, and they just want to continue this in. Teleport from something. Jing with a nade kill. Something beautiful. Lined up. Multiple headshots. Making light work of this eco.
And now Heretics, you've got the double martial play available to you. Riente's going to have a crack, see what he can find. Jing has no time for it though, and Minimoo will get wrapped up.
No, don't do it. Oh, humanity something.
This is a Masters, you can't do that.
You can't do that in the first half of the opening game.
Oh, buddy. That is the opener. Oh, come on, man. That is...
நம்ம ஒரு சாதாரணமான போது ரைட் பண்ணாலே ஒரு உள்ள ஒரு வெறி வரும் இவனுங்களா என்ன கடுப்பா இருப்பாங்க மாஸ்டர் சர்றானுங்க
6-round lead wasn't already enough. Here's this heavy util play that forced Boo out of that position. Right between the shoulder blades. And it's all smiles for PRX right now, Wyatt. Rifles back in the hands of Heretics though. A focus over towards his art and a main split potentially.
Fast. Here comes that Nightfall. Clears out sight, A main. Not going to ping onto anybody.
Alambot triggered on Art.
Team Heretics is going to try to fight this. You could have many try to pop flash out with PRX get onto the site. Steel Garden going to connect out to everyone.
Yeah, okay. We're going to have that one in play. Divide is going to make it very hard for Heretics to defend this properly. They're going to have to give it up potentially, but they're anchored in. Miniboo sees a bit off that dimensional drift. The PRX have actually syncopated the tempo here, and there's a drift over to B from the defenders.
This feels like a new PRX round right now. Again, just slowing it down. They tap the plant. They want to bait this utility out.
It's about to get messy, folks. There's the pin, the hold C2 Jing with the spray. Boo is down in dugout. Something tries to emerge behind the flash, and Wood is caught with utility's hand. There is something. Closes the account. PRX show us another side to the coin. It's a pump fake, slow rolled on A that teases Heretics out.
This is simply not the PRX of old. You are watching a new team. Everything they do there, controlling the tempo, is just utterly fantastic. They slow things down, allow some of those players from Team Heretics to leave after that Steel Garden was used. They tap the plants just to bait out that initial utility. Then they get back in, post-up, refight. It is picture-perfect Valorant from this team.
All right, big breath here. Hearing from Heretics and press conferences and the like, they're very aware of the sort of second place curse on them right now. It's kind of not something they want to consider because of the road that still lies ahead of them here through our group stage. But they've said that they're not inexperienced kids anymore. You know what I mean? They feel like the issue more recently for them in that EMEA final where they got blown out by Fnatic was just the mental preparation. In general, I feel like they've got the experience to stay, comfortable, confident at this level. But how do they dig themselves out of this 7-round hole? They've used both their timeouts here. It's only round 10.
Last year, Heretics, they were the team from EU that really shocked the scene in the offseason. Hopes weren't super high for them. Then they come out swinging. They have a fantastic 2024 with just a crop of all of the upcoming talent. You have Miniboo saying in that press conference yesterday, we're not the kids we were last year. They are mature now. They got a mental coach added onto the team to try and get them over the finish line.
Maybe they should get off the starters block Wyatt first. Just the one round.
I mean, devastating for either of these teams who are favorites in the group stage to immediately go 0-1.
That game crash didn't go into halls for something. It's tucked in that corner. Maybe not close enough to see. So they're pulling out of holes entirely from Heretics, and again, this is just mostly a Sheriff's round stinger for Miniboo, who hasn't gotten into the game in a meaningful way yet. Either Wyatt and PRX are swarming over B.
They just love this anti-eco B-slam, getting into the holes with a judge. This time, Boo's out of there. He's not trying to die to that again.
What can Heretics dig up here? Forsaken aware, and he's already seen that Prowler, knows it's coming. Fault line. Thrown out here, no one to catch on to, or perhaps the vice behind him, but Forsaken is confident. The standout player on this PRX roster. And boy howdy, he's sharp as attack, folks.
He had an unreal run with PRX when they went on that 5-game win streak. When the train began rolling in the playoffs to qualify, Forsaken was their most lethal player on any role that he had to be thrown on. Just the glue of this team.
I mean, all of them, right?
Anything. I mean, yeah,
all of the roles.
5 different regions in the lower final going plus 34.
Get you someone who can do it all. This is going to be a huge amount of pressure. Heretics are feeling, at least those rifles are back, locked down to work with. Cosmic Divide at the ready for Boo.
PRX playing a 2-2-1 right now. Late in this half.
slowing things down. They have been at their iconic lightning-fast pace, with devastating executes into these sites. Here they're just waiting out to see if Team Heretics want to go for something more proactive with this breach that they've got. Miniboo is postured in A main right now. Here comes that Dimensional Drift, so he's going to get spotted. Miniboo is under a lot of pressure at the moment.
He's hoping to fight ahead of it. There might be a safe pocket for something here to just emerge in. We'll call a cancel. Yep, he's
no way.
He's ready for him. That might be a little bit audacious, even for PRX. Miniboo tries to hold it off. Bangle Jing is just a little better. The guy is running roughshod over the defenders. And Benji's going to get caught on a timing, most likely. Forsaken just rips him a new one. And Boo again hands out wide and says, what do you want me to do?
3 players are spotted by the Dimensional Drift from something. He still gets out of it in secret. 3 players, yeah, let's just hit the site with our 4 now. They really said, no, I win. They do not slow the game down there. That's just crazy decision making. But all 5 of them are so on point. The guts, the confidence for something to get out there is crazy. And they follow up. Team Heretics, they are defied and they're losing 1v1s. Jing getting that crucial opening kill for the team to get into that site.
We are sleeping.
Last time these 2 teams played was PRX that mathematically eliminated Heretics from the grid last year. They said the emotions got the better of them. But now they're sleeping. Maybe they could use some of those. Jing pops himself up. The showstopper that's avoided for the most part. Just he already cloned there in A main, so eyes turn towards
does get some valuable information, even though it's unfortunate that that rocket was not able to get any value for the PRX side. They had their eyes on mid, no pressure coming from Heretics there, so they're going to go back to this B. So many rounds for them. They've had the ability to hit the side. Just one player anchoring opportunity for Benji. Certainly can't go forward, just has to back off. Tries to anchor. He knows he's going to get overwhelmed by neutral. But in fact, PRX, they're just going to use 2 ultimates. That very safe Cosmic Divide to allow the free plant.
And they can fall back off this. We can go back to, though it's uncharacteristic, the post-plant spam set up for PRX, but they're more likely to play ahead of it. Now, this is a wrinkle in the plan. The lockdown will allow Heretics potentially filter in here, but something... well, they got rid of their lockdown, never mind. Something's happy to wait and bide his time here.
Patman going to double up with them as well. Something wants to get some early spam.
All this units are not opening the side up enough. Minigu's going to go for it. He's able to find 2. And that's the best Heretics have looked this game, and it's not even close to enough.
The fundamentals are just fantastic. Patman getting back in the holes to double up with something. Multiple players swinging through the Cosmic Divide that was just decimating Heretics on their re-entry.
Well, we're here for a good time, not a long time, apparently, folks. That is a brutal Heretics. We'll be back after a short break. Collect yourselves, and we'll return to this opening matchup of Masters Toronto.
அது எங்க இருந்து வருது நல்லா காட்ட தெரியுமா வேஸ்ட் நான் அங்க போனோடனே நான் நினைச்சேன் ஒருத்தனை பார்த்தோன்னே சும்மா அழுட்டு போட்டிருந்தாலே கொஞ்சம் டைம் கிடைச்சிருக்கும் ஒரு இதுதாயிருக்கும் எல்லாம் டெசிஷன் மேக்கிங் கொஞ்சம் தப்பா பண்ணேன் அதனால அவன் சொன்ன சன்செட்டாவது எடுத்துருக்கலாம்
VR vengeance.
I'll tell you what, we're going to come back from our half with our Coinbase Econ report about a measure the bang for the buck that you get off your credits, and Forsaken is off the charts. 50 to 70 is a great Econ rating.
That is crazy from Forsaken, but yeah, that'll happen when you die twice and you never actually have to spend your money. Forsaken is on a tear, just continuing the form that he had that we mentioned previously. That run the PRX have been on to get to this tournament, coming out of nowhere. He has just been their star, no matter what role they've thrown him on.
Last time we saw PRX on this map, it was an overtime loss to RRQ in that lower final of Pacific. Something was with him, making some really odd decisions in the clutch situations, and Forsaken wasn't able to get them over the line. But here, it's a different game plan, a different comp, and by God, it's a different outcome.
I did not expect this map to be in the pool. I certainly didn't expect one of these teams to pick into it. So that was very surprising as we got into this. But it's no surprise anymore. PRX, they have been grinding this map before this tournament, and it is showing. This is some dominant, exceptional gameplay.
The words of Coach Nilzinho, Heretics have been sleeping for that first half. Hopefully, 11-1 rings to the tune of the alarm clock that gets them back in this game. Midibu's already gotten his way onto this A site now, tapped up a little bit. PRX have not quite shown themselves yet. Something lurks amongst the shadows. That's a bloody good timing, at least for one. Devay, what a shot! Boo just runs into it. Who can deal with him at least? Player advantage for PRX though.
That is a late swing with a crucial kill from Wu. Benji would have to be the one for Heretics. We'll have to save them to get this pistol round. Keep them in the game.
Looks good. Jing, however, reaching around the corner. It's a very low health Woot that's able to dispatch him. Now we've got a God's Honest 2 versus 2, and here's Forsaken, gets the spike loose. It's up to Benji. Prowler, play from behind it. Patman sees his quarry. Not quite ready to finish the job. 35 seconds left in the round. Patman holds his ground. A diabolical start to the second half for Team Heretics. It might already be over.
He's won both pistols for this team. Obviously, Heretics are going to have to come into this with a tragic force. Hope that they can look like G2 with some stingers, maybe. This is stunning from PRX.
Finish off, brimming with confidence. Forsaken is loving it.
Just doing the little things right. There's something with the confidence to push out of that smoke when Devay is being pressured. They fight together. The fundamentals are just so clean right now. What a joy this is to see PRX in prime form.
Round of play. Be the last of the game. There is a stack on the B side. Patman though takes that one for the team. Forsaken finds his, and then PRX realizes action elsewhere. Jing's going to start filtering up through connector. He may see the second wave here from Heretics Cross.
Swing out, he will! Gets the first tap down and double swing. Forsaken follows in on Mini caught on the lurk. And it's the IGL, the big brother of the team.
In the unenviable position of having to salvage an impossible situation for his team. This would be one of the nastiest losses that Heretics have suffered in quite some time. Peru here's going to try and go to work with him, but Devay shuts the book on this first map. What a way to make a statement here in Toronto. PRX are back.
Find me one person that printed a 13-1 on Pearl for PRX. I mean, if they did, time for the lottery. Time for the lottery. What a showing. Stunning from PRX. Absolutely stunning.
Just a casual 324 ACS for your boy Forsaken. PRX looking hot off the starter spot here in Toronto, but it's a full series that's going to be played. So stick around, folks. I hope you've got plenty of energy saved up for the rest of this series.
South Indian மாதிரி இருக்கும் வடக்க மாதிரியே இருக்கும் அதான் எல்லா South Indian மாதிரி தான் இருக்காங்க.
Let's go! Let's go, boys! Nice one, bro. Nice one, Pri. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
யார் மூவ் பண்றாங்க?
Future, but see profit here. Wait up. We gon'
Watch me do it again.
Hey.
Let me show you how the folks does.
Oh man, I was just getting warmed up.
Spike defused.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Hey guys, Jen Lee here with Coach Alex. Now, Alex, what a great start. I mean, 13-1. How on earth did you guys manage to pull that off?
I have no idea, to be honest. I think everyone's just on fire, so we're very happy to be here, very excited to play, and we're going to make the most of it.
It seems like your Pearl is stronger compared to how it looked like in Pacific Stage 1. Was there anything that you didn't like about how, Pearl went?
No, I mean, I can't complain at all, yeah.
Impeccable, right? When it comes to Patman, seems like he's not nervous, It didn't look like it was his debut, and it seemed like he was enjoying it, so, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think most rookies actually play very well on their first time, so it's pretty much more of the same.
And Icebox is going to look as strong as Pearl?
Sorry?
Icebox is going to look as strong as your Pearl?
I hope so.
Okay. Can't wait to see it. Thank you.
Thank you.
A happy Alex. I could get used to this.
Yeah, I mean, look, that one round, they need to clean up, figure that out, but everything else is looking good, no?
They are looking good. Almost too good, Mel. Maybe Heritage just didn't manage to get into the game.
Yeah, I mean, PRX just had so much momentum. And, I mean, he was talking about Patman, the rookie here on the stage, and it's like, he won two very crucial 1v1s, and to bring that to the 13-1. So I'm very much impressed. I think we were all, kind of leaning towards PRX here, but to expect that level of dominance, even Alex was like, wow, like, what is happening?
The train has truly arrived at this station, but it's time for our Verizon high-speed moment, and this one goes to to PRX's pistol round, the first pistol round.
They started off beautifully here. It's pistol round, and already PRX is just going to be working for this early mid space. And I think their calling was really highlighted throughout this round, and also some of the aggressive plays from Forsaken. Initially, they're just working over into this connector area, and they're playing this round out without any sort of wall coming in from their Vise. So right now, they're a little bit concerned as they run into very little resistance in mid. Okay, there could be a walk-up B, there could be a walk-up into A, but pretty soon they're going to hear this Killjoy turret on A and start realizing, hey, there could be players coming in around the side. So they call to move into this split pinch in towards A. And it's going to be interesting because they don't actually run into anyone playing up forward in A main. So this is about the time where PRX have to decide, okay, do we just plant the spike and play the post plant? Do we turn around and fight these flankers? I think if you look at past iterations of PRX, they'd be looking for the fights against those people coming in along the flank. But instead, this time, they try to hunt away the solo side anchor, find out where the Killjoy is. This fight over into back site, as soon as the smoke comes down, you've got a Yoru flash going into the ground that's going to flash out anyone playing back here. But they don't just stop there, right? PRX keep walking forward because they know there's multiple players coming in either through Art or through A main. So they're going to keep fighting forward until they can find the Killjoy. This is where things get a little bit awkward. They leave this solo anchor back there in towards Secret. Devi's able to find one kill. And at the same time, Forsaken gets another kill in towards Flower. So they make the decision, actually, we see all those players on A. Let's just sprint over towards the A site. Unfortunately, Jin gets a little ahead of the crew, so that actually encourages Forsaken to stick around, and he plays this very aggressive line, trades that kill out, and he was doing this consistently throughout the game. His Astra was so aggressive once they fell down into numbers. They end up pushing forward, going for these two players coming on the flank on the other side, but Patman and Forsaken play things beautifully to close out this round and get the ball rolling in what was a complete stomp.
And Mel, this is the definition of growth, right, when it comes to the way that PRX are now playing compared to a couple years ago.
Yeah, like Ender was saying, old PRX, they take those fights on the flood. New PRX are like mid-rounding to a level like I haven't even seen a mid-round like that, especially on a pistol, ever, and that was insane. And also probably the most mid-rounding we saw of the entire map, actually.
Yeah, they were making so many decisions on the fly, right? Because that first fake spike tap, they're saying, okay, if we tap this, there could be like 4 people flooding out from Flower. As soon as they don't see that, they know that there's going to be a lot of players coming in on the flank.
Well, we've heard from Coach Alex. Let's hear from Coach Neil Zinio ahead of map 2.
Hello, it's Jen with Coach Nilzinho. Now, Nilzinho, not an ideal start. What do you think happened?
I think it was honestly an embarrassing performance. Like, we were behind them at every single step of the way. Individually, we were off. Macro-wise, wasn't great. We just couldn't get anything going. There was a couple of rounds that were in it, but honestly, we were just completely outclassed. So we just need to wake up immensely for the next 2 maps, you know? Yeah, we need to bring our A game, and that was nowhere near it, so...
And earlier today, Boo mentioned the importance of having a stronger mentality and how it's something that you guys have been working on for years, right? So, and now would be the time to demonstrate that growth. How do you think the guys are doing? What did you tell the players to make sure that they could mentally reset?
I mean, this game, it just felt like we were so scared to... We were playing to not lose, basically, and we just were terrified to make a mistake. So, again, we've just given them complete freedom. They've been here before. We've turned around things fast before. We need to do it even quicker. So, yeah, we've got Ryan, our performance coach, with us as well. He's said a lot of good words, and it's just given them confidence because they need to really believe how good they are. And right now, in that last performance, they didn't show it. But we've got 2 new maps now. We forgot about the last one. We got completely outplayed. It is what it is. We go next.
All right, thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
And it is fortunate that the map we will be seeing next will be Icebox. This is where, Ender, we expect a different performance from Heretics.
They've got to, right? The player I am looking at is Miniboo, because that map 1 was quiet on the Yoru, but on Icebox, bro is like the only guy that is playing Neon, and he is so clean on it. I love seeing what he can play. I am a big believer that this team rides or dies by Miniboo's individual performance, and he has to show up.
Would you like to see them stick with the comp that they ran, you know, through stage 1, which we're about to see here?
I think so, personally, considering they've had a lot of success with it, and we did just see them play Pearl with changing their comp, going into the more double innie, and it was not convincing in the slightest, right? And I'm really excited to see, yep, and there is the Neon. I think Icebox is a map that really requires a lot of mechanical skill and confidence, considering how many fights you have to take, and there isn't a lot of util to supplement those fights. And on Neon, this is his moment. This is the time for him to stand up and show up and be the leader for his team mechanically in the stats and just go on pop off on PRX.
And I think it works for them too, having double initiator, Sova and Gecko to find more forward fights as well. Fight through Viper walls, fight through smokes, take control over backside, fight towards Snowman on B. You have to get active versus PRX, I think, because their util combos honestly were looking so good.
And I think a big part of this too is the fact that Team Heretics is starting on attack this time as opposed to defense. And they can set the pace, they can get in their face, and that's something they didn't have the virtue of having in the last map.
Well, they wanted this rematch. They got to turn up on this stage. Otherwise, Uber and Wyatt, PRX are going to walk away with a clean 2-0.
We expected a banger of a match. I think a quick 2-0 definitely wouldn't have been on our bingo card today, Yinsu, but what we got served up in that first map, hearing it from Milzinho, was not good enough from Heretics. Against a team like PRX, you cannot afford to start slow in a match like this.
For this game, Benji Fishy had said he wants to play against PRX, and he got his wish. He might be regretting that one. We are heading to a map pick. Heretics have looked really good with this Neon.
Look at this push up already from PRX on the defense side. They absolutely want to brawl. Heretics, though, have to be ready for it. But how? How do you stand against this avalanche of defenders? Wood is going to limp away from an early encounter. Here's one shot. Has to cross the mid that Devi has on lock.
Yeah, doubled up even with something, and Devi had been patiently waiting on that angle. Anyhow, nice little 10-second round coming through to open this game. PRX yet to lose a pistol. Heretics yet to gain an ounce of momentum.
And encounters like this early in the round are just going to stretch your cohesion in these firefights to the very limit.
What we saw there, frankly, is classic PRX on this map. They play standard stuff, but they play defense in a far more proactive way than most of the teams in the current meta. Most teams play a lot of safe positions, then go for retakes. They are constantly doing 4-man, 3-man pushes down, A main, down B main. Heretics are going to need to be very concerned with that.
Inching now over towards the speed side of the map. See something back up here to bolster this big presence. Standard Viper wall here from Heretics definitely indicates they intend to head this way momentarily. Looks like already the Dizzy is trying to scout the way. Unique Neon composition. It's going to be tough to find a foothold though, as something takes his and gets off the line.
Fair amount of damage done though. Now it's something with the rifle. May want to toss that over to Forsaken or Devi if they can actually meet up, and it looks like that's going to be the case. The much healthier full armor Devi will take control of that Vandalist. Team Heretics want to pivot back towards mid with this Neon. They like to go for a lot of B splits, a lot of fast-paced action.
Devi here from multiple angles can operate here, can play off the turret, take contact as they try and push up in the kitchen. Here's something. Says, oh, my rifle back, thank you. And there it is. Another quick round as PRX don't get anything.
The rifles just lose one of the pistols, basically as good as it gets. Heretics invested nothing so they can get the absolute max here. The one round they did actually win on Pearl was an anti-bonus.
It's pretty risky stuff from something there, but par for the course. PRX fans will be very familiar with that.
Let's go.
Now, of course, buy up here for PRX. Heretics, rather. Forsaken has a bucket.
PRX have 3 players B main. Time to walk right at the attacking team, as they always do. Heretics, they're patient, they're waiting, but they're losing the duels. Great trade from Rienz, though.
Little one-way, something tries to put together on a dime, but Rienz is a little bit quicker. Now we'll remove the presence from mid. As Forsaken starts to take advantage of the spaces given up. There will be a turret spot him out. Patman with a Bulldog. Stacked up here alongside Jing. Does the bite match the bark for PRX on this B side?
Now when Miniboot is alive, they love to go for a bolt in tandem with a recon to take back Yellow, but without him it's going to be much tougher. Patman wants to fight this, but the Dizzy connects late.
Spacing's not there. Jing actually got off that live. Oh, hi, Wingman. He needs to get ahead of it, though. The span's coming in through the smoke. Still, PRX cut down to 2. Oh, Forsaken with the Bucky.
Last player standing.
It's all going to be on Devi now.
Benji and Woot, arms to the teeth, but no plant just yet. Wingman to get it done.
Slow this down.
30
Catch the vibe, he's pushing, but he's speaking out, and wow, he gets another. Heretics, they convert the anti-bonus as they did on Pearl, but they escape with only one gun. That is devastating for their economy.
Well, the Spacey looks better trading into that B side of the map. They sustain heavy casualties to do so. But perhaps they're starting to get a feel for that tempo style. PRX are trying to throw at them defensively.
You can see that they were waiting. Miniboo was just chilling on that angle, but didn't win the duel. Yeah, Christy called it out on the desk that Miniboo does need to step up. He is having so much detail on this map of Thrive when they're on attack. He needs to come to life.
Something already wants to assert himself today as the Yao drone starts to make a foray on the B side of the map. It's like Patman wants to play safe for the time being. It's something with an outlaw as well.
Wants to go even further off the drone that Forsaken is sent for him. Does actually spot out Boo.
One way will be refreshed. Give Patman the edge, but it's going to be a dizzy on out. Patman already on the spray. Got his. Heretics slowed up somewhat on their way over towards this big side of the map, but now that Viper Wall is something they can play from behind. Nano Swarm's triggered.
That was a great way to fight that from Team Heretics. Multiple players jumping out to face together off of that dizzy. To break it by a defender. Something now posted up and you can see PRX on the rotates getting towards this B-side. Will Benji catch the timing?
He's got a player though coming from his left. He might not be ready for the two push. And there it is. Once again, PRX give as good as they get.
Rifle upgrade for Divine now as well. Solo, these shock darts have done tremendous damage. It's going to force out the Thrash. Can it actually get a connection? And even if it does, can anyone get a kill off of it? No.
Decent ping though on the side of PRX, but here is Forsaken with the Odin. Jing wants to try and push up. Wood is very, very low, but it's still a spike to defend now. Heretics just going to try and hang on here. Hold on against this relentless onslaught, but Divine wraps on yellow. And Wood just has nowhere to go.
PRX on this map are just so oppressive. They're taking so much forward space, and they're so happy to make fast, bold defensive pivots off of that information to stack proper sites. This was a great moment for Team Heretics that we highlighted, but from there you just have Forsaken coming back in with the very rare Icebox Odin.
One enemy remaining.
Heretics at least tried to manipulate the pace, or at least dictate it to some degree, but PRX are always asking for more, always trying to assume some of that real estate, that mid-push that catches Benji out. Eventually, Forsaken steps up on yellow. Heretics are going to be on the clock every single attack side round.
And here we go, 3 players ready to fight from PRX towards A, and they find another first blood.
Miniboo down at the start of the round again. Wyatt. Something. He's on the line, able to get back, and he knows there's more where that came from. The shorty. God, he's thirsty for it.
Spike
It is up to Boo, as it often is. PRX with another stunning start to the game. This, by the way, is a team, PRX, that has an 83% attack side win rate on Icebox. So God forbid we get to that part of the map.
Now, even at this juncture in the game, they've been Team Heretics to get multiple ultimates. The one that Heretics did have, that Thrash, had already been used by Wu to try and convert that pivotal gun round. It was unfortunately lost for them. But the economy for PRX is getting out of control, and Heretics, they have opted to go for another early timeout here. Certainly can't blame them. Needs to get these guys' heads back in the game. I mean, back in for the first time.
You know, some players, they talk about how things slow down when they get into the server, right? Feels like you're walking through molasses, time slows. I feel like against PRX, it's the opposite. These guys set those phases to warp feed and make it very, very hard to stand on even footing at this pace of play. And Heretics have been that kind of team that have wanted to dictate said pace, right? They play Neon on this map, for God's sake. They want to make these fast rotates, take that mid-control, be the one that be active, but they have never, in this series so far, been in that position.
When they've gotten dominant wins in their run in EU, it has come from being relentless with that pace, by disrupting the defenders with the Neon. But you can see that they've gone into this with play as they intend because they know that PRX are just going to be sending it at them on defense. So they're not getting off to those fast, aggressive starts that they want to. They're not able to claim that space early. Forced to use a lot of utility to try to re-clear late, and most of these rounds they're just losing the opening tools. Neil said on map 1 that they did not bring their A game. In fact, they were nowhere near only 2 rounds to their name at this point. Lost this series.
Now no turret to play off of in kitchen. Already there's one way he's being set up. We'll have Patman occasionally to swing on them. I mean, he's decent come out. We know there's a bit of pattern, a little Heretics footsteps on this B side of the map. Devi's been drawn over in that direction to assist. NG on the curry spot, okay. Not too shabby, my friend. Holds it down admirably. That is definitely going to throw a wrench in the works for PRX, and now that lockdown will allow Devi to at least get some space. Rienz is waiting for it.
Caught by the players who were able to just get out of that lockdown circle. Play in the corner. Credit to Benji Fishing. He just wins it out straight off. 2 for 1. Patman was trying to anchor back yellow, but that's a position that you really can't be in alone against Team Heretics.
Jing has got very little to see.
Confidence peak
Yeah, likely just to try and walk away from this one with weapon intact, even though there's currency here for PRX to continue to take some risks and try and keep a lid on the economy. Jing does not like his chances.
That anti-eco flawless they had earlier has put them in an excellent economic position. But like you said, might as well just save, keep the cash rolling for PRX even in this round loss. I think Patman has realized on this one that trying to anchor back yellow solo against the way the Team Heretics like to fight towards B is not going to be the right choice. They send too much util back there. It's tough to deal with the Neon.
Benji's ready for this inevitable mid-push, and I think Devi does not account for the pocket that's left in the corner of that A side by the lockdown. It sort of doesn't check this at all.
Guys, we're double the rounds from last map.
It's a positive.
Guys got a quick map.
They'll take it. Double. I mean, for a team like Heretics, who are filled with talented, mechanical shooters, that's the first time any of them have really gotten a highlight-worthy play. Credit to Benji.
Fury now from Rienz. Speculative. Doesn't yield any information whatsoever. They are aware that the Odin is in attendance today.
Those would be positions that PRX would typically play into, but it's actually gone full aggro. Something posted up close with Patman, and that's allowing the rest of their squad to be pretty steadfast towards this A site. Odin is going to be obnoxious to deal with.
But no one was watching pipes at the time. Forsaken actually gets back.
This could get dangerous, but now that the Hunter Sphere is going to need to be extended to break it, unless they just intend on getting out of here, which is going to be the case.
Oh, the Shocky does not hit. Well, that lockdown will be intact. And now Heretics have to make use of that to get entrenched here at this A side.
They're going to want to use this Hunter's Fury with the Paranoia to get back in. This is fast. This is pacey from PRX.
Here comes that Hunter's Fury, but late as it is, but it's going to be Jing going to work with him. He's gotten in and under rafters. Something at a timing, and again, it's Benji that answers that late round lurk. Wu deals with Forsaken. Jing gets his cap. He was already able to find these first 2 kills. Just to expect him to make it 5. Even for him, might be a little bit too much. With the shoulder being shot through the knee, still an adventurer, though. Boo and Benji happy just to stay entrenched. A hard fought round here for Heretics. Finally, PRX train is forced to throw the brakes on.
We're beginning to hit some shots. I'm going to need to see that Benji one replay from his point of view, please. That looked ridiculous. All right, Heretics heating up a little bit individually. That's great. That is a mental shot from Benji, who's starting to hit.
Still cranking 90. Good to see.
PRX, they're on defense. They do display something that they are typically very good at, which is very, very quick floods with excellent utility. Now here, more classic PRX, 4-man push up towards this A side, getting all of the space, collecting that orb, and then they post someone up and immediately go stack the other side. This is the name of the game for them on this map.
Once again, though, it's just going to be Divide B for now. And one away from that Viper's pit. There's Benji again.
He's hitting. He is hitting. Spatman trying to trade the Z-toss, but Benji gets out of the way. Oh, this is stunning stuff.
Benji Fishy. That's 3? Caught by the paranoia, forced to get into the youngster has some wind in his sails. Right, Wingman is going to be thwarted in his plant attempt. He's going to go ahead now. The way, surely. Jing spotted now, detained. We've got Diviner watching. Relay bomb comes in, a mini move with the slide across. Heretics finally turning up to play.
Stunned just in case he starts throwing hands without his gun, I guess. Why not? Alright, just has guys from all different angles swinging onto him. That awareness to catch the second that was coming out of A was so nice. And that is a read on a typical PRX play. Knows that when they're making that full rotate, there's going to be someone that's pushed up in A main.
4-2 is Heretics' Icebox record. The only losses to Fnatic. In fact, 5 out of 7 of their map losses in EMEA, Stage 1, including playoffs, went to Fnatic.
When you watch them play against any other team in the EU on this run, they look like world beaters. But Fnatic have just had their number. They've been able to really counter the way that they're playing. PRX, early on they were countering it, but in a totally different way than how Fnatic actually opted to.
Very proud to debut our new reinforced tungsten carbide 1088 steel tables just for this occasion. I tried to elbow drop wide into it. It held. So good luck, Alex, breaking this one.
Hit a moonsault on Vansili. He didn't even go through it.
Walls of Jericho. Nothing. And again, first time in this whole series that PRX have been put in a position to have to this time. They've been struggling a little bit to hold on to B. Even though they're refreshing that one way over the containers, still being overwhelmed.
How will PRX adjust out of this? They're going to be on a half buy here, to the extent that they can at least get a hero rifle over to Jing, who obviously has been playing very well. Some highlight moments already, especially on that raise back on Pearl. But this is one of the maps where he's not playing. It's just not what they like to do. They just love this very standard comp, and they've had a lot of success with it.
Benji so far has been feasting, playing that mid. So many of those kills have originated from PRX, not respecting Heretics there. I think they've now been able to bend the knee somewhat.
With this Viper's pit down, that's a fairly big commitment here. You do have Patman with that close range stinger to try and find an opener, shut down and execute if it comes in, and you're just expecting from Team Heretics at some point, if they intend on getting into this pit, which certainly looks like they're going to do, you're waiting for Riens to use this owl germ, clear things out.
Jing with the hero rifle will watch the mid pivot, but yep, there's going to be action over here towards the pit.
Batman cute, but not good enough. Tries to
outfox the Aldro.
I respect it. I respect the attempt.
Divine gets up on that line pretty quick. Miniboo, who's been quiet in this series and in this map as well, just needs to be a bit of a nuisance. Remains at large here over the site. Snakebite's going to make it hard to play in from upper rafters. This is good looks. The hero rifle is still in play. Jing might try and wager it for something here. Take a pretty prescribed location, one that's going to be watched for at the back of the site. Heretics have seen enough. It's up to Jing here to step up, get himself some value off this round potentially, but once more, he will be sorely outgunned, outnumbered. And outdone by Benji. Flawless round here for Team Heretics. Finally steering the ship with the wind.
They're going to have an opportunity now as well to get a lockdown for Benji, who's just one away. Batman trying to time that. Hey, I'm not mad at it. He's got the stinger, on an eco round. Go for it. But he is caught out. And you can just see from Miniboo's point of view there, hitting this A site, how many options he has playing the Neon, getting into so many unexpected, unorthodox positions there can be incredibly effective.
So something's taken up the op now.
Alex. And that is the adjustment that was certainly called on that timeout from the prior round. Wants to post up towards me, doubled up with Jing. A bit of protection for him.
Turret just got cleared. Looks like the go signal there for Heretics on the B side. They've just indulged in a surge.
Recon is sent in to clear out back yellow from Rien's. Pretending, hey, we are getting that position back yellow. Shocks as well, and now we're going to slowly pivot back. The spike has just been over there with Root on A the entire time, but this is the danger. Something has been waiting for this cross.
On a very tight line. He's going to see one. That's Rien's trying to cross. Dealt with. Somebody wants to repost the line, but very quickly, Heretics all got across to A. And he's going to know that in a couple of seconds.
And look at PRX. They're already rotating off this B side. They have Patman, Deep Yellow, and the other two players are making their way to A with some haste. So they tried to flood in. They might. No, not with that lockdown, though. They're certainly going to be kept at bay.
I don't think PRX have the mechanism with which to remove that, so they're going to have to respect and pull off the site. An early rotate now, kind of nullified. We're going to get a plant down. Heretics look to dig in here and anchor.
And it looks like they want to come right back in. Recon, Paranoia, here come PRX.
Heretics Viper's Pit now to play with Woot. Ensconced safely within the poison walls. Here's the Sacred, sees this easy come his way. Having to spam through. Eventually PRX are going to have to commit. Woot has been dealt with. The Viper, though, spawning the pit still at large. Jing wants to get past this now. Spam in Boo's direction. Mini Boo, though, dealt with. Patman is in here, sees the Viper, and there it is. The wall comes down, as does the curtain on Heretics in this round. Boo with a parting gift, but that's all that Heretics can muster.
Overwhelmed by the numbers, no real positions, deep sight. PRX are just able to get right back in for free and overwhelm everyone in that pit. It's somebody getting that opening kill, and then Spam connects on to Woot. Cooked from there.
You see how much PRX invest in getting that midline held. They send Jing with something. And then whichever way you slice it, whichever way they rotate, something is going to see someone.
Fishy is actually picking up this attack operator, and it makes sense with the way that PRX play. Exploit their aggression, allow them to make their way into the angle that you're holding to get an opening kill. Keep the game slowed down.
Benji here to very passive play. He's just watching for the tube push down. That's not the plan for PRX this round, apparently. Once again, it's the one-way being set up by Jing for the sake of Patman, the solo B player right now.
Deploying drone. Orb taken by Forsaken into the deep drone on A. We have read this story before. PRX just some of their players more towards that B side. Patman feels the need to retreat, at least temporarily. Recon for back yellow yet again. Here comes that Dizzy. Team Heretics making their way in, claiming this space.
At some point they had to disrespect the one way, they had to get moving. So Heretics now have the yellow control. Benji's still waiting for mid. He might not get anything with that up here.
Team Heretics, they do need to wait for this wall to come back up. Oh my god, PRX, they just want to go in off the Paranoia with a recon.
Looking for their own timing, much into the beat of their own drum, but Woot, what a stunning mosh pit there to shut him down. Devi's able to find his two. And Benji's not in a hurry to get involved. Heretics have done well to trade up on this B site. This has drawn something of Forsaken across the map. We're going to have an advantage attack side post plant.
This is looking Forsaken. Just wants to slowly maneuver forward. Correction, get this kill. What a snappy shot!
Now, have to deal with Woot, tucked in corner by yellow. Doesn't want to give himself up for Forsaken. Don't even think about the knife shot! Here comes the thrash. Something knows he now needs to gain some altitude, but finally Benji is rewarded for his patience in the round.
That lurking operator comes in at the very end. The final hour. That was interesting from PRX that they go for this pre-fight attempt before there's any effort to actually get the spike down. The wingman wasn't planting. It wasn't really a push forward. They just tried to catch really a raw timing. It does not work out. We're finally seeing
yeah, I guess
the Alex that we know.
The question is, like, what is the cue that PRX are playing off of there? If they're just trying to manufacture a timing of their own, it doesn't work out because Woot has a really nice mosh pit.
Now here's some pace from Team Heretics, getting that neon back yellow quickly. They know Patman could be in this poison cloud, so some shocks going in there, but they don't actually connect any damage before retreat.
Definitely a bigger commitment to the B side by PRX in this round. Hunter's Fury, lockdown, both available here in the last round of the half for the defenders. So behind the Viper's pit, Here come Heretics. They are really looking to take some snowman space potentially here.
Wow, they just do it again.
Timing doesn't pay off once more. Hunter's Fury now for Forsaken. Gets a tap on Benji. Still no plant yet.
Right here. That Hunter's Fury just used a little bit late. Boo has gotten his way all the way into the A site, and there's more than enough time for Team Heretics to make this pivot. Yeah, Forsaken can catch a couple in mid, though.
Is he too far forward? I like the high-low setup. That's brilliant. Heretics always aware of the thrust up mid from the defenders. We've seen it all half so far.
That is a great double face there.
30 seconds left.
All right, now the little things are beginning to come together for Team Heretics, and we're finally seeing a PRX who were utterly dominant, now struggling a bit with some of their timings. Again, they refight into B before there's any attempt to get the spike down. That Hunter's Fury comes a little bit late, and Heretics just have their crosshairs placed on all of the angles that they could be pushing out from.
Devi's giving himself away. No reason not to fully commit to this one, but there's Boo. Takes him out. 7-5 half for Heretics.
And as you mentioned, Heretics have PRX have a, 80+% win rate on attack Icebox. So, despite the 7-5, they are not out of the woods yet.
Close half. Finally, some light from Heretics. Stick around. We'll get a quick break, and we'll be back with more Icebox.
That everyone gets a free phone on any plan, pain-free. Count me in. Try and beat it. I'll give you a sec.
Very soon.
Showing here for Heretics a rockier start, but they really start to string rounds together. Round 6 onwards, they win 6 out of the preceding 7 rounds. Put themselves in a very reasonable position here. They map a choice.
Finally able to find a moment where they're actually in the lead in this series. Benji Fishy leading the way as far as the econ report goes. Something in dire straits was investing into that operator, but wasn't extracting the most value from it. Had that one good round where he was able to catch a kill on the cross, but after that, for the most part, was being avoided. Team Heretics did a great job countering the play of PRX that was working for them within those first 5 rounds, but then eventually fell off. Things began to get very disjointed on their refights. Heretics are looking good. Benji was absolutely the hero for them in that half. Started getting those highlights, and then that inspires confidence in the rest of your team as well when you see someone starting to hit like that.
15-6 after 12 rounds. Honestly, almost a mirror image of Forsaken's performance in the first half of Pearl. Very strong showing, and it was Benji's stalwart performance in mid that really held PRX at bay. But PRX on the attack side of this map, really, really strong. 83% win rate through Pacific Stage 1. Lossless on this map.
We've seen when Heretics have had success on Icebox too. It's actually typically, as far as the scoreboard, Benji Fishy and Woot that are putting up the big numbers. Draws a lot of that attention on the Neon. This is fast right out from PRX, collecting too early.
Thrust here from Heretics might have fumbled. Rian's waiting in the night. Yet to leave poor, but eventually someone's going to raise anchor and get to it. Rian gives himself away. Jing wins it out. What an ill-fated encounter for Heretics, and it's up to Boo again. Boy howdy, what a mountain he has to climb. Spike, of course, already planted. This is what you ask for PRX fans. getting off to a good start with a pistol win here.
All they've had are good starts. They've won every single pistol. If Team Heretics could win this map without either pistol round win, that would be a tremendous feat for them.
And they've shrunk, of course, the lead to a singular round. And once again, it's a short round by this early engagement here in mid. Jinxie's actually over on the B side, gets involved there, then whips around. That's an old
He knows someone is there because he couldn't move forward. Hold up.
Game ID.
Alright.
இவனுங்க எல்லா ஸ்பின்னும் வச்சிருப்பானுங்களா இல்லாட்டி இது
own idea. It's going to be Minibu investing actually into the Marshall from Heretics on that deep angle from Yellow over towards B. Pretty standard there with the shock and the molly to deny that early access to the orb from the defending team.
Benji is absolutely playing the most important position on the map. Just as we saw from something in the previous half. Unsurprisingly, Patman's moved up. Minibu punished though on that little swing. Tried to set him up with a Marshall, but he will be ruined. Run over there, given no space at Yellow whatsoever, and Boo now is about to feel the net close in. Patman up walkway sees. What was that? Okay. Up on the ledge he goes. Proud as a peacock, but Rienz is able to find his brace of two. Once again, though, it's a heavily disadvantaged situation. Rienz desperately trying to avert an even game here. Likely has too much on his plate. Devaya will silence him.
Fair enough, bringing the three most important rifles into the next round. Cash on the spike plan as well, so PRX will be more than happy with that. Team Heretics have done a nice job on these anti-bonus rounds. That has kept them in the game here. Really spiraled out of control early. Nice shots from Rienz, who is just a consistent presence for Heretics. For me, really just has all of the aspects of the game on lock. He can really do it all.
The Heretics team said, we are not kids anymore, we're not rookies. There's no excuse for us to drop these important matches, and they've recovered well here on Icebox, but might be an inflection point lying here in this round as both sides have rifles. It's a very healthy bonus for PRX.
Taking the time at the moment, something has been allowed to take all the space and be made. Oh no, that is disastrous, Boo! Just doesn't think that someone would be that close.
Last time it was Minibu got caught out at Yellow. This time, Boo has just got a little bit too close to the sun.
This is Team Heretics with absolutely nothing left in the bank. This is must win at the moment, Patman. This fight is so awkward. That's as messy as it gets.
Late Paranoia comes in, but Patman definitely supported in that engagement. Something eventually that was put to bed on the B side of the map, and this has precipitated a pivot. Now with mid-control, PRX can go towards A and not worry about getting caught, but it's a pump fake.
What a timing for Patman to catch they have. Second playing towards A again. They can really pivot anywhere here. It's just, we're playing TDM. Who wins that out?
Patman the Viper.
This is a mental
The stabilizing element of PRX, by the way, is just taking duels across the map. He has opened it right on up for PRX. Minibu has to play second fiddle now and try and make use of that mobility to cross the map. Woot is already set up in Crow's Nest, though.
It does have the wingman to actually pressure a defuse, force some people to swing out. Maybe that's a way in. Find a pick.
Small gap in that mobility challenge. Woot has to drop down, and the spacing isn't quite there, apparently. Minibu steps out only to be riddled with Vandal shots.
PRX are just so ready to swing together at any audio cue. Boo so frustrated in this moment, not expecting that anyone can be pushed up that close. Something can pull that for free.
Oh man, that was... I mean, Benji's been credited with some very sharp moments. Even on this map, look at him shut down something as he wrapped over towards belts like many rounds ago.
Team Heretics, they're bringing in 5 sheriffs, 5 regen armors. Obviously, they have the shooters to pull off a round like this.
Minibu forced off pipes there. 410 smoked out, giving something a staging ground. Okay, all in rafters, Heretics committed to anchoring this site with these sheriffs. How far does their gun skill get them against a fully armed PRX team on a roll?
Listen, they've got the right stack to do it. The weapons might be decent enough. Something shut down early. They're trying to get into this side. PRX is pushed up, but he can't connect.
Messy stuff. Divine Forsaken now, got to pick it up, but there is Forsaken. Quick response. And he doubles down. Oh,
he's susceptible to just one shot from it, but he's able to get out of the way. But again, read by Riens. He's too smart, too aware.
Yeah, with the fury of Olympia now, Devi has to recover the spike and put this together. Both of his opponents, half armor and sheriffs. He has a Vandal to his name.
And he has to fear a potential flank because he was out of range from the turret that was placed. Wants to double back now. 30 seconds to play with. Does he just try to clear this out, get back to A? Does he try to gun it to B?
He
wants to leave. He wants to leave. He's hoping that in this situation, Team Heretics would just leave the 2 on A and then go for that advantage retake over towards B. But when the spike goes down, that will allow a rifle to be collected perhaps. Or no, they just want to go for this with the sheriffs. Riens does have a recon.
Devi has a turret to play contact off potentially. Not too bad to have this Sentinel utility at your disposal in such an important club.
Look at Devi. He still has to be weary about this flank as Riens is making his presence known forward.
Trying to get ahead of the Al drone. Does he have a timing on boost? Watch him out! You do it, head! Devi is divine!
Well and truly on the tracks. Team Heretics know that round could have absolutely shifted the momentum, but it's a 4-round run for PRX now in this second half. Disaster for the European side. Forsaken comes up clutch with these 2 kills to get them back into the round.
Both Riens and Boosted pulling up their trousers, util in hand. Can't play off of each other at all. That is huge.
They feel like they didn't have the time to waste either to collect some of the rifles that were a little bit deeper on that A site. They go for it with the sheriffs. I'd be regretting that decision at this point.
Jeez, the tension there between Weber and Nelsinho is palpable. There's another timeout here. The last one available to Heretics on this map.
It's an absolute heartbreaker. This is Heretics coming off of obviously a run to qualify here, but then getting blown out in the regional finals against Fnatic. Neil, the coach, saying that was the first time he felt disappointed in the team after that loss.
That hits heavy. They've been a team for a while. And you heard what he had to say. Just in that halftime break. Not looking themselves. Now they've managed to find their way back into the game, but yes, they've got a rifle round coming at you folks, but Hunter's Fury, Lockdown, Viper's pick 3 of the most impactful ultimates you could ask for PRX. On this so far flawless attack side, they have 4 rounds in a row put together.
PRX just have the easy 1-2 ult combo right now. Get the space with the lockdown, drop the pit, and they've even got the Hunter's Fury late if the spike is really being pressured by a Team Heretics retake. They've got 2 ults they're relatively close to. Maybe they can get this orb, maybe Root finds a kill, right? But you're asking a lot. Oh my god, the early Hunter's Fury double connection!
That's devastating! This was the round that Heretics were trying to shore up their half of the map! Benji at least is able to lean in, intercede to find a kill. It is an awful way to start with, and he's pinged out again. He's got to give this ground up. All of the A side now belongs to PRX. Look at the timing though. Heretics trying to get in ahead of this, but Miniview is shut down instantly. And Benji, beleaguered as he is, on all sides, guns are trained at the killjoy. That was absolutely diabolical.
Something gets an amazing deep position there as well, all the way back. Rafter, that was eventually going to be the nail in the coffin on that round, no matter what. I was talking about Forsaken. He could use that in a post plant or just get an immediate drone tag. A double hit. Jing takes all of the space that was created because of that as well. Oh my god, whatever they had planned in that round. It was just out the window immediately.
Just throw his head back. Okay, Heretics, credit to them. Still want to find a burst of speed here, but oh, the boys were waiting for it. You were expecting.
Just hoping the Forsaken would be in that closer, tough position that Acer will often be in. but was safe. Playing back for the multiple players to guard him. It's just filthy. They're trying to make hero plays. You can't blame them. They've only got sheriffs. PRX have absolutely shut them down. Their economy is completely out of control. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. We can't have two knives in the debut game.
Yeah, cure for hypotension.
We cannot do that.
So very quickly, those 2 rounds fall. Heretics back on a buy. Now with Flash and Lockdown to work with. After that one, still want to go forward, play that PRX-esque aggressive B-side play, at least standing on to get something. But man, I mean, PRX wrote the script for that. They were there when the deep magic was written.
6-round run coming into this with an 80+% win rate on attack. See exactly why. Deep recon is going to come through mid, and then something can swing off this with Patman. No one is going to actually be spotted by it. No, Benji caught, and there's a teleport into spawn. Disarray for Heretics. They were
trying desperately to bail water out of this quickly sinking boat. And they've already been cut down to 3 players, and Patman is on a timing, but there's an awareness here for Woot. He kind of knows it, and he's ready.
I was going to say, Patman, he's just in the walls at all times, but Heretics ready. Now this is winnable.
Yep, something spotted out. Here comes a fast retake for Heretics. Good start. Forsaken dealt with Raptors control, assumed. Woot very sharp this round. Thrash here will look to find Divide, last standing member of PRX, and in midair he is detained. Heretics come up for air. It's a breather, a brief respite. But boy howdy, look at those wallets on the side of PRX. They are bulging.
Desperately needed round win from Heretics. They're losing players early, and they still manage to pull it off. They do a great job getting back into that site together. The distraction from Raptors, and then you have Woot coming lower. I mean, the distraction. Benji knows he's in there, but just can't do anything about it. It's that moment where something tucked in that deep position again is forced to look towards Rafters. And Woot takes advantage of that distraction to get a free kill. This is going to be such an uphill battle for Team Heretics as they have to just face down a PRX that won't be saving anytime soon, if at all, this half.
It's possible Alex took exception with that round from PRX. I can't be sure. Wow! Oh, he's not ready. He's clearing the recon, and Jing is just too far ahead of the play for him.
He just double teleports forward. He gets all of that space for free. You're never expecting it on defense.
Rian's has to salvage. The only player inside A side for now. Disrespected the smoke at Rafters and look at Patman. Pushed all the way up on B.
He's just got the craziest lurk timings. He's going to have to accelerate a bit. The Team Heretics try to get in off this fast lane. They're getting towards screens. It's slow right now. Relay bolt doesn't hit something. Here comes the lockdown.
By hook or by crook. He's looking for this, and there's Patman on the lurk timing. Oh, the lockdown is just popped out from under Heretics.
I can't with this guy.
Now Heretics know they really can't play off the side. They've got to commit. They've got to challenge this. Not too shabby there from Minibu, but Jing deigns to descend from the ivory tower to deal with death blow to the
This is winnable. Patman's too far away.
Can he get a touch? Unreal. The Red Bull clutch. A crucial one here for Woot as Wingman does the job. Man, they really had to fight scrapping for that one. Wyatt, 3 up for Heretics to come out with a dub.
His little pal just gives him that effective 2 versus 2. Wins the highest impact 1v1. But talk about Minibu. What an adjustment. Looks like he's already in the grave when he gets this 3rd kill. What is that, man? What is that?
So Heretics have taken a chunk out of that PRX economy. 1 round closer to their total. There's a lot of work still to do. We're going to have an early Viper spin on the B side of the map. PRX clearly no interest in challenging it early this round.
Batman wants to go on another wild adventure. Go up to, well, the rest of the team focused on A. Team Heretics, triple stacked up. They go drone for drone. Oh my god, the last Hunter's Fury was really solid.
Nice schmooze there from Minibu. Avoids what would have been a lethal connection. PRX will be satisfied with a little bit of damage onto the Neon, but Minibu also has that overdrive at the ready. Here's Jing again. They are never ready for Jing. From the top rope, he's able to find his... Rian's clutch back now, has the drop to the side. This is good anchoring. Can he do with something? No, the shorty. More than he can deal with. And Boo laboriously will drag himself across the map to challenge this.
Planted.
Jing has just been an absolute animal on both maps. Countless first kills.
But here's a double swing. He's going to have to deal with it. Oh, the King's Horses and men emerge. The Viper is dealt with. Match point now comes up. PRX. There was a narrative, right, if you're a PRX fan? Or even a hater. You're familiar with the feeding narrative, but it's never been less true. With Patman joining this lineup, that stabilizing force. So good. They're trying to get the 6 attack side rounds as the half began.
Heretics on defense have had absolutely no clue how to deal with Jing getting in these absurd forward teleport positions, playing with so much more aggression than you would typically see from Omens on this map. Something connection. Wow. Damage for damage.
Both take a hit there. Ice Fury now being deployed by Rian. What is there to find here? Comes up with nothing. And here's him. How is he here already? The conditioning utterly broken on the side of Heretics, and now it's up to Phil again. 30 points of health to try and slow the PRX train down, but choo-choo, baby. We have more than left the station. Paper Rex have arrived in the 6.
Feels like they've never been faster, actually. 13-1 on the first map. Dominant on map 2. Not one pistol round loss. All of the momentum throughout both of these games slowed down for just a moment, but they immediately bounced back and utterly crushed Team Heretics in that second half of Icebox. Listen, we thought we were going to get a close banger game. Well, we got some exciting plays for sure from PaperX. Highlight reel stuff coming out from Jing. Both maps. Forsaken, incredible on Pearl. Patman with some mental lurks. I don't think anyone expected this to be so dominant. This is PaperX at their best.
Patman's reputation was the one that would keep it calm, keep his team alive, but instead he is dragging them, kicking and streaming straight down the front of Heretics. So history repeats itself once more. Wide, a tough loss suffered by Heretics at the hands of this phenomenal outfit. Forsaken shows us exactly what it was that got PRX to this game. And no one on the side of Heretics can deal with these timings that Jing is throwing at them.
Give it up for PaperX! Guys, you know what? Celebrate with the fans. Celebrate with the fans. Enjoy this moment. But, hey, guys, is it okay if I steal Forsaken?
That's fine, that's fine.
All right. Hey, let's have a chat. Forsaken. Pure dominance. 13-1 on Pearl. What the heck?
To be honest, I don't really know what happened about Pearl. I don't really watch Heretics Pearl as well. I think their weakest map is Pearl, which is you're right. So yeah.
Okay, and you know, you seem very dialed in, you know, standing up, shouting a lot, very animated as well. So, you know, what was your mindset? You know, are you just happy to be back, or you just kind of wanted to, you know, show off your guns?
Actually, I just wanna hype the team because last time in Pacific, I realized that we were winning when I'm standing up. When we're not quiet, we were winning. So I think I'm gonna do this all the time. So we're like vibing, you know.
You know what, just don't sit down, play stand up. Let's talk about Patman. You know, how'd you prep Patman for Masters? Because you guys had to play other tournaments in between Stage 1 and Masters Chrono. So, you know, can you talk to us a little bit about getting him ready?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's his first time in international, and we win our first match. So I'm kind of really proud of him that he can play well, even though he may be a little bit nervous. But so far, I think so good. Maybe a little bit of jet lag still, but we believe that we're gonna get it done, yeah.
Okay. I hear everyone on the team saying it's about time that we won something, right? So is PaperX train going to ever stop until you reach the trophy?
No jinx, but hopefully the trains keep going on, you know? Yeah.
Track by track.
Track by track, guys. Track by track. Let's go.
All right, thank you, Forsaken. Go celebrate and enjoy this moment. And that's all from me too.
The human body was built to move, not not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. This is Secret Lab.
Guys, bye bye.
Bye, bye.